This conference will now be recorded.
I'm going to call to order the Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020 meeting of the Tilton Planning Board. And this is a public hearing. And our first case is Sea Light at 61 Business Park Drive. And they're here to discuss a site plan application and to add some parking spaces. So I'll turn it over to you,
Tara, you can sit
Tara?
here, Tara, if you like.
Just turn the microphone.
We're located at 61 Business Park Drive, map R20, lot 17, within the Industrial Park District. Petitions of the, so we're petitioning to expand our off-street parking to our adjacent property. So our building is located on lot 16. To accommodate growth, we currently have 30 parking spaces, and we want to add, not including handicapped and a visitor parking space. And we want to add on to lot 17, 11 additional parking spaces. I'm sorry, on lot 16, we want to add additional 11 parking spaces. James Piscopo of Excavation of San Martin is contracted for the work. We've submitted the drawings that we've created. So basically, we're proposing a lot that consists of 100 by 40-foot parking with a travel aisle area, 11 parking spaces at 9 feet across each. The line to the west and the east along the lot's south edge. The lot's southeast edge setback is 20 feet from lot 1-7. The north edge setback is 30 feet from Business Park Drive. There's a 20-foot entrance so that there could be two-way traffic, and that's also offset or it's 30 feet long into the parking lot. And then the parking painted lines will delineate 9 by 20-foot parking spaces.
Okay.
Grade is pitched 2 degrees south to north toward the existing swell for runoff, which is at the front or the north side of the parking, or the north side of the lot, Business Park Drive. The south edge includes asphalt curving, the single entrance and exit driveway, which I said is 20 feet. Then we are going to create a 5-foot wide asphalt walkway that's 150 feet long that goes over to the entrance of the existing building on lot 1-7. And that'll be 30 feet off of the road and 6 feet off the building. Lighting is going to be added to the north and west exterior walls for safety.
Okay. All right, we have, has everyone had an opportunity to look at the application?
Jane, is it an application or the parking lot sheet 1 I'm supposed to be looking at?
The application form.
Okay, so the one that says, the only application
It says application form for subdivisions plan approval.
okay, I only have site plan application for Rowell's, site plan for PB site plan plans.
Christine,
You got it last
Yes.
week. You got it at the beginning of the month. This was
Okay.
I didn't electronically. They have it
Yeah.
in front of them here at the
we
meeting,
have it.
but you might have it from the beginning of the month. They were on the agenda when we didn't have quorum. So,
Okay,
So they moved to today.
okay. Let me get that.
Just check this.
Okay, there we go. I think this is it. So, okay, parking lot proposal for lot map R20 lot 17. Got it.
Okay. And it looks sweet to me. Eric,
I would make a motion to accept the application as it appears to be substantially complete.
Second,
okay, all in favor? Is there any discussion
Aye.
other than
Aye.
Dembitsky, yes?
that? All right,
Now,
so let's see if we have any questions.
I just want to comment plan, if I can, Jane.
Mhm.
So first of all, just so you notice, on the plan that shows 10 spaces, but they're actually doing 11 spaces. They're not taking up any more space. They're still doing 100 feet. So 9 spaces 9 feet times 11 spaces is 99 feet. So they're just gonna put 11 in the same, that they show 10. So if there's any confusion, first of all, everybody see that?
Okay, yes, I do.
They originally wanted this, if you looked at the plan before, they originally wanted this on the other side in front of their building, but they didn't have the setback for 30 feet, so that's why they moved it over. And they also will need a,
Which is the one we submitted today.
which is the one I talked to Rob today, and he sent me one.
You got it.
Yep.
And there are problems with driveway permits. Problems with driveway permits simply because DOT is very backed up.
No, this is gonna be a town driveway.
Oh,
It's a town road.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's right.
a business park drive. It's just, I have it for you to sign
Okay.
tonight.
They would just have to update their site plan because it shows 10 versus 11.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I talked to Rob about that today.
All right.
Is there a need for a handicap, or is that somewhere else on this property?
There's one on the, right next to the entrance of the building on the other lot.
This is just adding, and Christine.
Okay.
I know, it's fine.
It's too much. No, no.
No, I'm worried, she's not.
Any questions or comments from the planning board? Christine and Todd, any questions or comments?
Nope.
Nope.
Do they need to submit a new plan with the 11 spaces showing, or are we
Yeah,
good
well-
with that?
We'll have them mark the plan to show the spaces. I'll have Rob do that.
There's no more, there's no change in the area though.
Right.
Just adding a space.
Right.
We're just making.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta open to the public, Jane.
I'm going to. Okay. All right, is there any comments from the public?
Yes, I'd like to say something.
Okay,
Okay,
that's Tim.
I just want to say we're very fortunate to have all of the employers and businesses that we have in town, but particularly impressed by the business that Sea Light has and their stature in their global leadership. It's a very unique business, and I got to get some glimpses into it as we were transacting business with Sea Light, and just would be very much in favor of doing anything that the town can to help them expand their business and to grow. Thank you.
thank you, Tim. And I couldn't agree more. I think they've been a real asset to the community. Any other comments from the public? If not, I'll turn it back to the planning board. There are no further questions or comments. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept planning board case 20-03.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Dembitsky, aye.
Odell, aye.
Thank you.
Odell, aye. All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Right.
Tara, I'll see if they can get the permit for the drive taken care of, and then if you can ask Rob to see if he can get it notified to be and submit that to us. Okay, thank you.
I forgot we're supposed to roll call.
Thank you.
Prosper.
All right, the next is continued change of use review for 293 Laconia Road. Mendenhall Construction. All right, John. All right, we have an application, so if you would look over the application, please, before we hear from John.
People out there walking their dog right now.
It was so good at the zoning meeting. Should have put him in the car.
This is not a site plan, this is a change of,
This is a change of
Change of
use
use.
review. He was on the agenda the last time we met and he wasn't able to make it. And then we missed a meeting and now. So the last, I attached the last planning board decision in your file that was for a financial office at this site. Now they want to put a construction company. So the concern was if they're just doing an office, but it says on the change of use to also have 3 vehicles there. And we don't know if they're going to be construction vehicles and it's just a residential home that's there right now in the driveway. So I think I wanted to bring to the board to see if they wanted a site plan on that or if they wanted more detail or any conditions on this change of use.
It's not, I can answer that.
I mean, it looks like I have a site plan application and a change of use application.
For Mendenhall,
Mendenhall. Sounds like a dorm.
Am I looking at the wrong thing?
maybe you should have just Tilton plan of application for change of use.
That's
Is what
all I
the-
know.
is what-
And this is for the rolls?
No, this was also on the
Oh.
agenda from last time.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll go to that one.
This is the Mendenhall. You got it? Remember, it's the house and I think you were on the planning board when we approved the financial, the office.
Christine, the application doesn't have that
Oh,
much.
yes, I would see it then, yeah.
information.
Okay?
Yep.
Any comments or questions from the planning board? I have a question. What kinds of vehicles are going to be there? Is it going to be 3 additional?
So it's going to be Josh Mendenhall. He's going to have Josh's wife will be using it as office space and making appointments and giving the quotes and collections of funds. They'll be operating between Monday 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 8:30 to 2. He's only going to have 2 trucks parked there, but there'll probably be a couple of cars coming in and out, I guess, for quotes. But total is only 3 employees, 2 carpenters, and Maria, his wife. And Josh is the owner, and he's also a carpenter. He's going to be overseeing it, and he'll have his meetings there in the morning, but everything's done on the road. He oversees his jobs and goes to the work site. So it's more just a spot. They can have a sign, they can work out of, they can park a couple of trucks and have their meetings instead of, he lives in Tilton.
When you say a couple of trucks, do you mean big, heavy equipment type
No,
truck?
he owns a
Okay.
Dodge Ram F-150 and his head foreman or carpenter or whatever has a Chevy 1500, the both extra cabs, the little trucks. And it's more or less to be recognized the sign, the location, he's growing fast. He actually did a whole add-on to my house at my home on the lake, and he also that's how I got to know him. He built a showroom in his circle.
Okay,
But he's going, he's young. And he wants the visibility with the sign I think the sign is more important to him than anything else. He wants to get a sign up there. So, but they're on the road all day long. It's all off property.
as an aside, we've been joined by another planning board member online, Judy Tilton. Hi, Judy. Any
Hello.
more-
I've actually been here quite a while.
Any more questions from the planning board?
Not from me.
Okay, not from me. Anyone? All right, I'm gonna open to the public. Any comments or questions from the public? If not, I'll close it to the public, return to the planning board. I'll entertain a motion.
Well, is it a motion or is it us saying they don't need to do a full site plan?
No, they
review?
don't.
Because if you go back to this letter dated April 6th, it was the board determined this property was previously site planned and approved for an office. Still gonna be an office. An office is an office.
Yeah, but it's nice that he came forward to say that he was going to do some new things there. But yeah, I agree.
I guess I'll make a motion that that I don't know what to say. Mendenhall Construction does not need to come before the board for a full site plan review.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right?
Opposed?
Dembitsky, yes.
Tilton, yes.
Odell, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Oh,
That's it.
probably
That dog is gonna leave now. So
Oh, they're explaining on everything.
Where's the- Oh, it is.
All right, our next item is a review of the conditional approval for the Honda dealership.
no,
No?
Raul, now it's Raul.
Oh, what?
Completeness conditional use permit and site plan review for 490 Laconia Road.
Oh, okay.
Didn't say Ralph, so I was just like.
No,
Oh, it didn't say
I-
Ralph.
that's why it
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
say
Well,
Ralph.
I'm just reading like what's 490. I don't know.
I
what
was
it
just looking.
is. I just
Sorry.
want to Google it.
I'm just right in your way.
No, it's fine. I've been over it a couple times.
So, could we review the packet?
I'm looking for it.
It's it says Tia Berninger on it.
I got it. I got it. All right, let's review the packet. Does everybody have the application for the site plan?
Yeah, I have to ask this because I was never good in math. So it says in June 2020, the ZBA granted a special exception to allow change of use of an area. Is it greater than 3,000 feet or less than 3,000?
Greater, slightly more than 3,000.
I just don't know. I just know the alligator eats, Said I was never good in math. Need to go to compass class. And it was on the 25th. Let's see.
The application appears complete to me. Do I make a motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Dembitsky, aye.
Tilton, I.
Okay.
Todd, yes, sorry.
Okay. I'll go to the site plan review.
Do we have any speakers on this?
Yeah, we do.
You
Are you ready? Yeah.
Good evening, my name is Tim Burning of TF Burning Incorporated. We prepared the plans for Ralph Service. The owners are here as well if you have any specific questions about the operation. This is a redevelopment of an existing building. They're rehabbing the structure and just kind of fixing up the parking lot quite a bit. It's fallen into disrepair. It's formerly a restaurant and a little retail shop. We're inside the building, and they had a gravel parking lot. It was a pretty large gravel parking lot back when it was fully in business, but it was very haphazard and very disorganized, and so they're going to rehab this into the corporate offices, showroom, and some classrooms and things like that for their operation. And so as part of that, they just wanted to clean up the site. We also took advantage of the opportunity to realign the driveway so that it's directly across from Silver Lake rather than being slightly offset. We have received the New Hampshire DOT driveway permit for that. We got that in today, I believe.
Oh, 'cause, yeah, I haven't. Yeah, that's great. I can take it.
And so I think that'll be a huge improvement there as well. The state is working on some lighting at that intersection as well. So this, I think they were kind of glad to see this. When you're just offset a little bit, causes some issues with lighting and other things. So I think this will work good. We did include a retention area, although our net impervious is really not that great. But the soils aren't good, so we redid a lot of the old parking area, just sort of shed it off in all different directions. So we kind of got it so that we could collect about 80% of the runoff and keep it and detain it on site in a pond and a little detention area in the back here. So it's pretty consistent. We did a lighting plan in accordance with the regulations. We had a lighting contractor design the lighting, all cut-off fixtures, dark skies compliant fixtures in accordance with your regulations. So it's really just a pretty substantial improvement overall to the entire site. We did need some variances from the zoning board, which we received. There's always been a roof sign, so there's a porch, a first floor porch that wraps a wraparound porch on the building, which you can see on here. And there's always been a sign on that roof. So we had to get a variance to keep that sign since we're changing use. That was granted. There was gravel over here, gravel parking, but we were going for the variance, so we just got a variance to allow parking areas in the setback, and they granted that. The dumpster is located right here, and that's in the setbacks. We got a variance for that. It's a relatively tight site. We have a stream that goes through the property here, so it's a relatively tight site. And to get a dumpster and a truck in there that can snag the dumpster, there weren't a lot of places we can put it. So that's kind of why it's there. And then we had to adjust one of the retaining walls, and that was in the setback, and then the new zoning ordinance, retaining walls can't be in the setback, so we got a variance for that as well. So those were the variances that were received. We sent, I think there was pictures included with a sign. We're going to use the existing sign, just obviously change it to Ralph's Services from a restaurant, but the same location, same height, same everything. It's really, if you've been by the site, it's been empty for a long time, and the structure's kind of deteriorated quite a bit. It was originally a residential structure that got converted and then got reconverted and then converted again into a restaurant. And they're and Rawls is really trying to make it a nice facility for them, and do a lot of improvements to it. So I think when it's done, it's gonna look pretty nice. It currently has a well. I don't know if you guys have been able to get a hold of it's in the Laconia water precinct. So we've been trying to coordinate with them and see if we can connect to that system.
We're still waiting.
We haven't heard it back, and it's been 4 weeks, so.
And the water line runs, it's on the other side of the road, but it's right in front of the property, so it seems pretty reasonable. It's on town sewer. There's good sized commercial uses beyond it, but I think it's good use there. It'd be a huge improvement to the building.
Can you review the landscaping? Are you doing some landscaping?
Well, we are changing quite a bit. So they had a haphazard little handicap ramp that really didn't meet the criteria in front of it, and it was right in front of the building before. So we're moving that off to the side. We have some landscaping proposed out front. So this whole area is all going to be loamed and seeded, and now it's just a mishmash of everything. They had a access way in here that's going to be eliminated. It looks like one now because they just ran the gas line that get put in. So the utilities are going underground. So the utilities are currently, or were overhead, but they're now underground coming off the pole. So we don't have the overhead utilities. We got a gas line that's in over here. There's a nice brick walkway that you're going to keep, the little patio up front. It's a red brick patio, and then a lot of loam and seeding and shrubs out front to just pretty the place up a little bit. But the big thing is prettying up the building because it's pretty worn down, and it has a nice porch on the front of it. I think when it gets cleaned up, I think it'll look pretty sharp. But it needs some TLC, I guess you'd say. And they've been working on that. They did get a change of use for the zoning board, a special exception to change the use from a restaurant to office space. That was granted as well quite a while ago. So they've been kind of working with the building inspector and working on those things. So it seems like there's a lot being done, but it's really just a redevelopment and kind of an improvement, a substantial improvement in organizing the parking lot so that it would actually take up less space but can park more cars. Because when you have gravel, there's no lines that people just park everywhere. And it really didn't have the right widths and spaces and places where it's supposed to be. We got dedicated handicap parking spaces that are in accordance with the requirements. The handicap access ways are all compliant. It was a little bit of a trick to make that happen because the building sits pretty high. It's an old building and they used to build them pretty high up. I guess they didn't have handicapped people back then, but so to get all the way from the parking lot all the way up to that building, we needed a pass. So that's why the parking spaces handicapped are down here. We come up at a handicap accessible way to get into the first floor. So that's pretty much the proposal. We are leaving this. This may look a little odd that we're doing this. We have all this land back here. That at some point they may bridge this stream so that they can access the back and do something. We'll obviously have to come back for that. So, and we didn't have enough width in here for another bank of parking spaces. So after playing with a bunch of different configurations, this made the most sense and to come in here. So they do plumbing and plumbing related activities. So they have some good sized trucks. And so the thought is maybe in the future to put the bigger trucks out back.
Now, are there wetlands on the right?
There's a brook that runs right through the middle here. And that is jurisdictional. It's a stream.
Okay.
The soils are not hydric. They're not great. They're not sand and gravel, unfortunately, but they're not hydric. There's this is all developed back here. There's a house here. Minor encroachments back there. There's some stacked wood piles and stuff, but a little sheds that will lie a little bit, but not too bad. Yep.
And you should say you're on the sewer lines and you've notified the sewer department company?
Yeah, you guys, yeah, you've worked through the building department.
And do you have the fire? Has the fire department been out at all?
As we spoke to Tim last week, he's coming out
Okay.
the end of this week or early next week. He had to get through the fire over in Tilton there.
Yeah, okay. The big burn?
Yeah, from a sewer standpoint, a restaurant versus an office building is an improvement.
I just want to make sure they've been notified though.
Sure.
And your driveway permit is delayed until DOT is freed
No,
up?
they got it today.
Oh, you did get it today?
We got
Okay.
that.
So that's taken care of. And Tim will be out next week for the fire.
Do we have a wetlands report?
What kind of a wetlands report would you? We ate the wetlands.
The plan has been forwarded to the Conservation Commission. I received no comments.
To my knowledge, the only wetlands are, I thought there were some on the right, but I don't think they're gonna make any change to that. And if we haven't heard, when did you forward that to conservation?
2 weeks ago,
Okay, and we've heard nothing.
not from conservation.
Okay, and they met, so,
There's no requirement for them to meet with conservation because they're not impacting any of the wetlands as it appears to me on the plan. However, as a courtesy, I forwarded it to the Conservation Commission in case they wanted to make any comments, any questions, but I didn't receive any questions.
Can I ask a question?
mhm.
The neighbors to the west left on that picture.
These are,
Well, no, is that a house right there?
yes.
Okay. How is light shine gonna be on that from, late in the afternoon in the winter? No, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about car lights, not
car
overhead lights, headlights.
So there is a stockade fence here.
Okay,
That is in pretty bad shape. That's gonna get rebuilt. We've noted that on the plan that the fallen 6-foot stockade fence will be replaced.
is that, how tall is that? 6 foot?
6 feet.
Tall, is that parking lot higher than that spot?
No.
It's level?
Yeah, pretty close to level at that point. Yeah, they definitely won't get over the fence. So headlights, and then there's a fence does end, it keeps going. It goes all the way to here. So it'll protect the house almost entirely.
Are there gonna be, driving by their Route 140 location, twice a day? They have a lot of trucks there. Are there gonna be trucks stored here, or is this primarily gonna be the accounting office, dispatch, that type of thing?
So they're very seasonal in their work. So they may store in the back parking lot, they may store some trucks during the winter, but they're just gonna park them and leave them there. for the winter,
Yeah.
until the next spring when their season picks up again, and then they'll go back over to,
'Cause I know it's very crowded over at Northfield, and
yeah, that's, why they're kind of thinking they'd like to have some room out back.
I would love to get my office out of the bathroom because that's where it is.
the bathroom or the back room.
It's in the bathroom.
It's
On 140.
It's converted to an office.
You can
I want
multitask.
As you can see, we park 3 deep over there.
No, I drive by it every day.
I think it's a used car lot, but majority of the people moving over to that location are the ones that are in the office building, the call center. There's probably gonna be about 8 employees over there to get started.
Okay.
But we'll have trucks in and out of there, as far as, for training, because we're gonna do training downstairs.
Yeah.
So it'll be a training facility for,
So they could come over for a meeting and then be dispatched back to
Yeah,
work or something.
exactly.
Okay, like a safety training or something like that. How to properly, well, you're gonna be hooked up to sewers, so you're taking business away from yourself. So.
Okay.
My other question is, we talked about a 25-year storm. What about a 100-year storm?
Right, so we detain. So right now it all runs off.
Right.
And we're detaining it. for
Or is it gonna be detained
100%.
in the actual catch basin, or is it gonna be,
In the pond, so we're proposing a pond here
there is a pond there,
with
okay.
with a stabilized outlet. So what happens is once the pond reaches its maximum capacity, it goes through a stabilized outlet.
Yeah.
And into the brook where it all goes now eventually. But it's a significant reduction, I think, overall.
And that's gonna be all paved?
What's that?
The gray on the plan, that's all paved, that's
Right,
all
that's gonna
impervious
be
pavement?
Paved parking lot, yeah, it's gravel now, which is the same runoff.
Well, it's hard as concrete, I'm sure. Right now.
So it's not really, and there's a barn here that's coming down. Garage structure. That's back there, that's coming down, that's actually in the wetland
Just say the
buffer.
barn's in the
I was
wetland.
gonna say it's in the buffer, that's what the
So we're
notes say,
taking,
yeah.
so we're taking that out, so that's an improvement. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a pretty substantial improvement to.
No, I don't disagree. I'm a little familiar with the next piece of property over, and I know it. Wait a second. At one time, there was a landscape company located in that building, and they went into that area in the back. And I don't know how legal it was that they went back there, but I know that they used to dump snow back there and things like that, so.
So we are, but you would.
And I don't know if it was on actually.
That wasn't on our lot. That
No,
was
no,
on
but
the
I
lot
didn't
to
know
the
if
right.
it was, looking at the map, I looked at
Sure.
Google Earth, I couldn't tell if it was,
You can see it from our lot.
yeah, on Google Earth, it looks like it has piles of dirt there right now.
Yeah,
so.
that actually spills over a little bit onto this lot. There are
Yeah.
some contours from the pile that they piled back there. So, I mean, this is in the water protection district. So snow dumping is not permitted in that district.
I'm not,
But, so we are asking for a special use permit, because pretty much any activity in that district requires a special use permit.
Actually, I think, the requirement is because they need additional use permit because they're at 19% impervious. And that district only allows, or that groundwater district only allows 15%. So, but they have put it in, they have it's a CUP in the packet.
But, I think they were probably there before. We're trying to cover every base. It's, make sure we're trying to bring the whole project up to compliance.
no, I don't go by that location nearly as often as I go by their Northfield location, and I have seen the improvements and I've noticed them. I haven't been by there for a few weeks, but, or if I do it at night. So. But my daughter lives in Laconia now, so I'll drive by more.
Should get better and better every day.
I can't read the tiny ones.
That may help. Shake your memory of what it looks like now.
Oh, yeah, no, it's. Are you keeping the gazebo?
We are.
Yeah, that's part of that sports they're wrapping around.
Yeah, I like that. I like that feature.
Yeah.
Um, I'm quite pleased to see, because it's been an eyesore for a number of years.
It has.
Yeah.
Are you taking, I know that there was some controversy over some of the signs that were on the building, like the ice cream cones and things like that, but you did get permission to keep the roof sign.
Yeah, no ice cream cones.
No, I didn't know if they were gonna put,
Maybe a food promote.
well, I was thinking about that. That's what I was asking, you know.
What, the ice cream cone?
Well, they could
We
change
might
it.
sell ice creams in the future, so you never know.
I could get chocolate from you, just to let you know.
An ice cream?
Yeah.
You're sure there will be no commodes on the roof of the building?
It's just, it is loud. It does seem like it's also buffered with trees and things from the neighbor. So that will hopefully, at least in the busier months, help cut down on some of the noise, the neighbors to the west.
See, those of us who were on the planning board, when the restaurant first went in, all of a sudden saw that roof sign appear one night.
Oh.
So we're concerned about it.
I just,
And the lighting is going to be downcast, so.
Yeah, so right now, when there's lights right along that property line, and
Yeah.
they're not the greatest, they're not modern light fixtures, so the new ones are downward facing LED.
is it internally lit sign or is it sign with the light spotlights?
Spotlights.
The one out by the road, we believe is lights up, does illuminate.
Yeah,
At the
It's
zoning.
internally lit, and then the one that was on the building was illuminated from hanging lights on the outside, but they said that we had spoken about it last week. It was wasn't an issue, just as long as it wasn't like a flashing light, like something
Yeah.
that rolled through and
Yeah.
a blinking. They didn't want a blinking light up there. We assured them that we didn't have a blinking light there.
Any other comments from the planning board? Any comments from the public? Now I've told it to the public, back to the planning board.
It sounds like they're gonna make some good improvements there. I'm all in favor for what they're trying to do.
I agree.
I'll make a motion
Okay,
that we approve. Planning board, okay, is it 2004?
Well, you need to do the conditional use permit separately. You should do that first.
All right, hold on, where's the conditional?
And actually, before you make the motion, and just to do my due diligence, just so you know, this has not been reviewed by an engineer. If you want it to be reviewed by an engineer, we can do that, but if you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. Second, it has not, the plans haven't been reviewed by the fire department, but again,
well, that would be one of the conditions.
you can make that a condition.
Yes.
And you will need to make a condition their water.
Correct.
And they do have their DOT, so that I have that listed on your handout, but they have that now, so
I see
it's up to you guys.
I see two conditions.
They don't have to have water because they already have a well on site, right? So,
Oh, you have the one.
It's
Yeah, it's already
already-
marked.
it's already-
Okay.
it's already
so
done.
at some future, because it doesn't sound like a sense of urgency from the Laconia Village District. So they have water
They would, we would just like
and
to
they,
connect it, just.
correct, but you would like to connect before the asphalt thing cuts down if you have to do a road crossing. Or I think you could probably bore underneath.
Yeah, that's probably what they were going to do. But it's
Well,
not.
that may be
critical to
why you
build.
haven't heard from them.
Right.
No, seriously, that may be why.
Yeah, with COVID, I don't know.
No, because it's underground,
Yeah, it's a cost wise.
because it's on the other side.
Yeah, but they pay for that.
That still may be the reason we haven't contact, maybe be an engineering type problem.
Can we contact the town administrator to have her contact the Laconia Water District to see why they haven't responded to
I
the,
don't think the town administrator has any power over the Laconia Water District. I can reach out and find out if there's a reason why they haven't responded,
Well,
but,
it comes to the town budget.
they're a separate
Yeah.
government unto themselves as the Northfield,
It's a
Tilton
pass-through
Water
budget.
District, which we have the same issues with. So, but I'm happy to reach out to them and make a call, but I don't think we have.
I believe one of the selectmen is on the board anyway.
A lot, yeah.
Joe.
I mean, we certainly can reach out to them, but
Sure.
I don't see the well radius, so I mean, you put the well here on the plan.
Yep, the well,
Yes,
the well
down
on
here.
the plan, it's in this island in the.
Yeah, right, and
There's no septic because everybody's on sewer there, so the well
Okay.
rates is really you. And it works fine. It's just, from a commercial standpoint, if you can be in, it's just one less headache you have to deal with it, but it's not true.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, and one condition that I see is the fire department.
well, the conditional use permit needs to be approved. Did you make a motion on that yet?
I'm gonna withdraw my original motion.
Okay, and all right, and then make a motion on the,
Yeah, I make a motion that we make a motion that we approve the application for conditional use permit.
and I second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Todd, yes.
Stambitsky, aye.
Tilton? Tilton? Judy, are you still on? She apparently has dropped off then. All right, any opposed? All right, so that's that. And I make a motion to approve the site plan review with the condition that the fire department sign off on the comments. And that's better, like, wait for this week. Is there a second?
Second.
Wait, is there only one condition or is there two?
I don't think I don't see any other, what other ones?
I was just gonna say sign.
Sign what?
Compliance, Tilton sign ordinances. That's
I don't
fine.
know, I don't think they condition, they have to, I mean, that's the
Yeah, I
zoning
think
ordinance.
they-
And they've been through zoning on that.
You're
I
not
think
gonna
they're
make
pretty
any
clear on
changes,
that.
you said, in
Alright.
it. So I don't think we do. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Is there a second?
Aye, second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Stambitsky, aye.
Judy? She's apparently not on. All right.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do like the poop emoji for ice cream. Can you work on that? I'll be your next project.
Right.
Where, God, what was that? Shiloh's Restaurant used to be. They can open up the little employee break room over there and have ice cream. Just saying.
Yeah. That's for sale. Why don't
I'll
you buy
have
and do
ice
that?
cream in the freezer anytime you come by.
Yeah?
How's that?
All right. I'm gonna come by tomorrow.
No, don't come tomorrow. There will be ice cream
I
tomorrow.
pass every day at 7:15.
Are they redecorating the bathroom for your office over there at the new location?
I hope so. I hope to have my own office. Yeah.
I think.
In the bathroom though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a perfect idea. Talk about multitasking.
Right.
Everyone should have
Did
that.
you at least take out the commode when you converted it to office? It is, yeah.
Yeah, but the wax ring and the Evertight plug is right on the floor.
I was in the service, my office was in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
They left the commode hanging on the wall.
It's about 4x4.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys
What's the
very
name of your
much.
bookkeeper? I can't think of her name.
What did you say?
The name of your bookkeeper.
Sarah?
No, there's a woman that worked, when I ran the sports. Yeah, like, who works at one of the motorcycles.
Andrew.
Andrew.
No, Sarah.
Still
She
there?
moved to Florida, but she's still.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, now we have Honda.
I have completely confused.
So I just want to talk to you about Honda.
Okay,
To give you an update, you know that they've started their excavation. They just did an excavation permit that was approved. They did the burn, they removed 3 of the houses, 2 more houses are gonna be removed. I do have
Where are those two now?
a Morrison.
Okay.
So those 2 will be taken down this week. And then they have submitted their building plans and they want to know if they can get started, but we don't have approved site plans yet because we have not reviewed the final conditions of approval that were set by the planning board. So they submitted the final plans for review, and the only outstanding conditions, as you see on my notes, is their driveway permit, which they don't have yet, and they need a performance bond, which they've agreed to. So that isn't a problem. I do have to bring that before the selectmen. So my question is, I did contact DOT today and ask them what the holdup was on their permit. And they told me that there really is no issue with them getting the permit. They do have the permit. They will get the driveway permit, but they're trying to iron out some issues with the crosswalk because they're adding a crosswalk there, remember?
Yes.
And that was the chief's request.
Mhm.
And they're just trying to get some more details on the final plan for the traffic pattern and the crosswalk, they said. And they're waiting for some more notes to be added to the plan. And I told him I was coming to the planning board tonight, and he said, well, they do have their driveway permit, so to speak. They will not be refused their driveway permit, but they're still finalizing some of the drawings. So I just kind of wanted to know where they were at. Yep, Eric, had a question?
I do. I don't remember if one of the conditions that they had was about the tree line, the tree buffers, or keeping certain trees.
Yeah, there was a long list. We've been through the.
My concern is, and I had not gone up there to verify this, but I was told that some of the trees that were supposed to be left were cut down. When they had a fellow, what do they call it, a fellow buncher up there? That some of the trees on the Morrison Avenue end of the property that were supposed to act as that buffer were taken down.
I don't know, I'll have to check the plan.
And I have not had a chance to go up there. It's just something that was told to me. And
Yeah, they were removing trees over there, so.
and I didn't know if they cut down some of the trees, so we would want to make sure that that was.
Where were the trees on the Morrison end?
There were some pine trees that they were supposed to leave because it was supposed to act like a light buffer for some of the closer residences.
We'll have to put trees back if there's trees on the plan. Todd?
So-
is that Todd?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm right there all the time. From my understanding is that they were going to put some buffer trees in, but the ones that they took down were clearly not where they were going to make any impact on the rest of the residents on Morrison Ave. They took down ones that were in between the houses that they were going to demolish anyways.
Yeah, because I believe, that's all gonna be a retaining wall. I remember the first conversation when it was Morrison, when the access was through there was a little different, and then when they put the retaining wall that's gonna go on the Morrison side, I thought they were gonna put some smaller trees along
New
there.
plantings, and they even told us what they were.
Yeah, so I don't know. They'll have to meet the plan, but I don't know if they've already come down.
Well, you can't put it back.
Well, you can't put it in.
So, well, I guess my concern is that if they were more mature trees, that they're going to replace them with more mature trees versus
Small,
a tree that's going to take
Exactly,
10
right.
years to get to the
Right.
size that they
Well, I
want.
think we need to verify that they were taken down in error.
Right,
So we'll do that part. We'll start
yeah,
there.
we can do that. But- Which wasn't really one of the items necessarily on the conditions of.
No.
So,
Well, you can certainly look at the ones that they took down. There's no way that they were trees that were part of the new development that we approved.
See, I don't even remember any being there, Todd.
Yeah,
Morrison there that would interfere.
I thought when they revised
exactly.
they left certain trees to protect some of the neighbors.
No, I think they just said that they were gonna put new ones in. That
That's what
was my recall.
Well, I'm only bringing it up because it was brought to my attention. I said I'd bring it up at the next planning board meeting that we had, so I'm bringing it up.
Well, it was brought to my attention that they dumped soil from the Franklin dump, and I cleared that up. I mean, that's not where it came from. I know where it came from, and we do too, so I think all kinds of comments have been made about it, but that's why let's check that out about the trees before we.
Yeah, it came from across the street. So.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be brought up. It's a big project, you know, I mean, people are gonna say what they wanna say, and
They're not here.
So,
So I guess my question is, does this board have an issue with allowing the project to move forward into construction pending that DOT permit? Or do you want us to hold them because your regs say that no permit can be issued until you have a signed final plan, and you can't sign the plan until you have the DOT permit. So,
I have no problem as long as DOT has said that there's no holdup. How do the other people feel?
Was there confirmation
I-
that you, or is it only over the?
they didn't, I didn't really ask for it in writing. I talked to Mr. Sylvia, David Sylvia, who's leading the review of the project, and there's been a lot of back and forth emails that they copy me on, so I know it's ongoing. He just honestly said that, you know, there were still some issues on the side, on the crosswalk, but that they were getting their permit, that there was no question that they were approving the permit. I think DOT understands this is going to be a major intersection, but they just wanted to get it all right on the plan. That's what he told me.
How do
He's
other
not gonna
members
be
of the
approved.
board feel? Todd?
I think that they're, you know, they're gonna make everything right. I just feel like they want this property and they're gonna make everything right.
I mean, we could limit it to a foundation permit if that was the consensus of the board, or you can leave it to the building department to make that decision, or you can say they wait till they're all final. I'm fine with whatever the board decides.
Christine, do you have any preferences? Christine?
No preference.
Okay. Would you have a problem going on based on the fact that DOT said there won't be a problem?
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Eric?
You feel confident, Leanne, that
Yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. They'll get it.
I just hate to see, you know, it get half, you know, all of a sudden the DOT says, oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it a practice? Because I can't think of a case where we've approved something before we have the DOT,
yeah, I don't know.
you know. Is it their risk that they're risking starting it without a DOT permit?
Yeah.
I understand they're up against winter.
Right, and I think that's the concern with foundation. I mean, we can give it, you know what, we're gonna be meeting again in a couple weeks. I don't have any problem if you want to wait and see what happens in a few weeks and see what DOT says.
14 days is a long time.
I mean, honestly, here's the other thing, you know, they could be a huge asset to the town, you know. I mean, we'll see, but I'm just saying, they're coming with a lot of money. So
that shouldn't be.
Think about that too.
That's not what we're questioning. It's just,
I understand.
I don't have a
I
problem.
understand.
It's not a problem with the driveway permit, it's the crosswalk as to where it goes.
Well, I mean, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to, again,
What's the backlash if we do approve it and then the DOT doesn't approve?
They can't use their
They
parking
can't use
lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you get that in writing from DOT?
I don't know if DOT will put it in writing. I mean, they can't say they're giving them a permit when they don't have it finalized. I don't know how DOT works, whether they give me anything in writing. I guess I could ask them to give me the status of the items that they're waiting for.
Well, you said they indicated it was the crosswalk, not the driveway.
Correct. The intersection. He indicated that it had to do with them making the plans correct. More documentation than actual disagreement on how it was going to be set up, so to speak. They were going back and forth with the engineer to have the engineer make changes to the plan to reflect what they wanted it to show. It's kind of explained to me without me understanding traffic and
The
plans.
crosswalk is on the west side of the entrance, isn't it?
Yes.
The proposed sidewalk.
Sidewalk or crosswalk?
Crosswalk.
Crosswalk.
Correct. Side cross.
Yeah.
Which was a request from the chief. Because of accidents that have occurred during the past.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah. I just don't know of, I don't know if we're setting future precedent for future projects.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you did it for them and now you're not doing it
Yeah.
for me.
Mhm.
But I also understand that we're in September 22nd.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're gonna want something in pavement done by, they want at least some type of pavement down by November
Exactly.
15th,
Yeah.
because that's usually when the asphalt plant closes down. I'm just thinking this all out
Yeah.
loud,
It's fine.
sorry.
Will we meet in 2 weeks, which is,
Yeah, but now
Like
you're
the
leaving,
date.
now you're leaving them,
no, I know.
Small window.
wait, we don't meet again in September.
Mhm.
So now we're in October, so now we're gonna cut them down to
Or
5 weeks.
we meet the on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you, Eric. Like, you know, the pavement plants are going to shut down sooner than later.
The asphalt plant. Christine, any comments?
How long do we think or expect the DOT to take for the approval
I
or
tried,
not approval?
I tried to get that out of them, but they wouldn't give me a date because they said they're waiting for Jeff Moran to make some changes. So I guess as soon as they make the changes, they'll be approved. So I guess, the quicker they respond. The DOT said they will get.
So if it doesn't get approved, they have to cease operation until they get it approved then.
Correct.
I don't see.
Am I permitted to ask a
Russian
question?
roulette.
Sorry.
What was
What
that?
time?
It was Tim.
Oh, Tim, what did you say, Tim?
I just wanted to know if I could ask a question.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Is it possible to approve something contingent upon that approval from the DOT?
Well,
So if they get it within those 2 weeks, they could proceed?
the problem is they already have a plan that's contingent on these items, and now we're meeting to finalize the plan, and you need a final plan that meets all the conditions before you can issue a building permit. That's the juncture we're at. So they can, once we, if you say 2 weeks, you might as well just wait 2 weeks. Like, once you pull the trigger,
Exactly.
Yeah.
we can wait the 2 weeks and see if DOT permit comes in and then issue the permit. Or you can issue the permit now, but then they're gonna start and it doesn't come in And I don't know if they ready to put foundation, actually, they still have quite a bit to do. They have to finish taking down those 2 houses. They're looking to possibly grind the foundations there and use that concrete if we allow that. There's more excavation to do. I mean, there's still some work to be done. But they have a lot of excavation. They gotta remove 4,000 square feet alone there. So that takes a little bit, for at least another week or so. So I don't know if they'd even start the foundation, I guess.
As we wait the 2 weeks, they're still pretty backlogged on the stuff that they're doing. I don't see.
Is that stuff that they can do while we wait 2 weeks, or is that stuff that they can't do because we have an issue?
No, they can do the excavation. They took the houses down. They could demo a house. They didn't need approval of the plan to take the houses down. Those were their houses to demolish. They can grind the foundations. They don't need a site plan approval to grind the foundations. So they can do all that. You know, they put the fencing up and, you know, obviously getting their prep done. We want to have a pre-construction meeting. So there's still some items that need to be done, but I mean, we're pushing towards, as Eric said, I'm sure their concern is getting things done before the fall. So, I mean, I don't know.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
I don't know if I'm permitted to speak, but if I could anyway, just as a citizen, having listened to all their meetings that they went through earlier in the year and having to deal with COVID and the delays and so on and so forth, I would urge the board to move forward if you can, even though it may be not a usual circumstance for you, but mainly because this project and the owners went through quite a bit earlier this year to try to move this project forward, and because of the circumstances of this year, you know, the delays weren't their doing, and nor ours. It was just the circumstances. But now they're really in a crunch, and I think they could really use the help from the town to help them proceed forward more quickly. That's all. Thanks.
thank you, Tim. Any other comments?
And I guess I'll make this comment on.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I'm not sure. I'm remote and I'm not sure who just spoke, but could somebody clarify who that was?
That was Tim.
Tim Pearson, Finance Director.
Finance
Oh, okay.
Director.
I'm speaking as a citizen.
All right.
I haven't worked in this district for very long, and I haven't had that much experience with DOT up here, but I know DOT in District 5, they don't usually say that they're all set with permits if there really is something amiss. So, you know.
I haven't had a big experience from here either.
So I can't imagine, I mean, he really didn't give me any indication that I had to worry about it, and it's not like they say that lightly at DOT. So in my experience with other districts, so, I mean, I guess I'm fairly confident they're going to be all set if that's the concern versus the precedent.
And I can't think of any time they have. Can you, Eric?
I can't either. That's why I'm racking my brain.
So is DOT waiting for something from the applicant, or DOT is the one that's?
Well, DOT told me they were waiting for some updates that they requested to be made on the plan. There's been a couple things back and forth. So,
So I'm thinking we can maybe do a approval to move forward, but give them a time frame that the applicant needs to provide whatever they need to provide instead of dilly-dallying along.
yeah, and I don't want to misrepresent. I think they, you know, DOT sent them something, you know, said this needs to be changed. They made that change, and then it went to a different department, which is he explained it was more their traffic and crosswalk enforcement, and then they made some notes, and then it went back to TF Moran to make those changes. So I believe they're waiting for those changes to be made. So it's not like anyone's really sitting on it, but it's just been a process these minor changes to the plan. That's
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, what I understand it to be.
And I don't think,
That sounds reasonable.
T.F. Moran sits on anything. I think they move very quickly.
Yeah, I think Tim Moran's pretty motivated to get this
Yeah.
resolved as well.
And, yeah, thinking about all the delays they've had, that we would be having this discussion.
Exactly. I mean, there was a time they were on their way here.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think they had a significant delay due to the water precinct as well, so. Wasn't our doing, but.
No. It seems to me that they've been over backwards on anything we've asked.
Yeah, and we can get that surety ahead of, their approval. So we'll have the surety if for whatever reason they had to abandon their project and we were left with that site. Mhm.
We're going there after we there. Yeah. After we there, Larry.
And that's in that case.
Oh, somebody's right there.
Yes.
So why are you here?
I guess it would just be a motion to approve the final plans with the exception of, noting the exception of the DOT permit, which is still outstanding, and allow the applicant to move forward. I mean, I guess that would be.
Yeah, I think that.
So
Can you still make that a condition? I mean,
Not.
and a search?
recognizing that the DOT, I mean, just recognizing that the DOT permit is still outstanding.
Yeah.
So if anyone questioned if anyone wanted to come in and say, is there a final approved plan? We have documentation says the board has reviewed and allowed them to go forward with this exception this one time. I don't know how else to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to put this into something that's blinding.
Or just say you find that the applicant has met all the conditions of approval with the exception of the DOT permit.
And the surety bond.
Which is in process.
Well, the surety bond, right? They've already said they'll send a check, so they've agreed to it, but yeah.
Both of which are in process.
So I guess make a motion.
And are approved to move forward with construction.
Yeah, I guess we make a motion that we allow LAL Property One LLC to proceed with construction.
Correct.
Pending the DOT and
Pending
Development.
the Hampshire DOT driveway permit.
and former sheet.
And the performance surety, the amount of $88,118.75.
Both of which are in process.
And both of which are in process.
And what? She had something for the department. Something more? Jane, did you have something about the fire department as well? No, that was on the other.
That
No,
was the last one.
that was,
Catch up.
okay, you think that's okay?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Todd, yes.
Christine?
Zambitsky, aye, with an update for next meeting, please.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. All right.
The last item on Honda is, this is really just, it worked, the lot merger I received. They have purchased the lots. You did, as noted on my notes here, you did on April 28th, the board took a vote to approve the lot merger. So there really is no motion needed, but I just need it signed. So just acknowledge that.
Like 6 lot mergers.
I'm sorry?
That was like 6 lot mergers.
Yeah, yeah. So we do have a lot merger here for signature.
Who's, I think that,
Aye.
5 lots.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, one.
U40, R24, 12, 24, 13, U438, U439,
Oh, okay.
U4 51,
All
as
right.
well as a section of Morrison Avenue, formerly known as
Okay.
Morrison Avenue Extension. So
All
7,
right.
that's a record.
Right, so that'll be, and the lot merger was also a condition of there. So that's done. And I just have an old driveway permit that you approved that I need signing as well, that we were in lockdown.
Okay.
And I think that's all I have. Janice, anything else we have? No?
Well, we have minutes.
Oh, yeah, minutes.
Okay, did everybody have an opportunity to read the minutes? Want to take a few minutes to read them?
It's 11th, I have to remember that. Was I here? Yep. That seems so long ago.
I read them, but I read them so long ago that, you know. I keep feeling something. I read.
I'm ready to make a motion.
And you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, August 11th, 2020 as written.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
Dembski, aye.
All deny.
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Okay, I have one couple more just notes to make. We're gonna be starting soon our zoning amendments. So hopefully we'll have quorum the next couple of months so that we can get our work done. And I ask that everyone think about any zoning amendments they might be interested in. I do have quite a long list. It's been here now a year of things I'd like to see change. So, but if anyone has anything, they can either email me or let me know, and maybe we can put something together if there's something that really is burning. And also regarding these meetings, we seem to be having a difficult time getting quorum. So at a minimum, I ask that if people cannot make the meetings, to please let me know so that the applicants aren't coming here, you know, sometimes from distances to come to these meetings. So it's hard to keep putting them off. The meetings are, you know, the same nights every month. So, I mean, I do send you the packets, but even so, you know, they're the, you know, second and fourth Tuesday of the month, every month. So if you can just mark your calendars ahead, and if you can't come, let me know as soon as possible, because again, we don't have that large a board. So, you know, 1 or 2 out and we don't have quorum. So, you know, we missed last meeting because of quorum, and so I appreciate that. And that's all I have.
I just want to check one thing. I want to see when on the calendar. Okay, that's not a problem. I just want to make sure in the future we don't schedule a meeting on election day. That's traditionally been a problem. Okay,
Well, the November 3rd election is the first Tuesday of the month, so we don't have that problem.
no, that's what I checked on the calendar on the.
Yeah, and then the March meeting, the March election is the second Tuesday of the month, so that would just make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had the problem in the past, that's just why.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for
Aye.
calling.
Hey, guys, thanks for calling in. Just mark your calendar.
Yeah.
Put it on your phone so that it'll warn you that the meeting's coming up.
13.
No problem.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.